What's up, guys? Daemonxel back again with another solo leveling Arise video. We are going to revisit the Guild Boss raid. Because there's some differences in the meta right now, there's different ways to approach this fight. And, of course, I'm thinking of my free-to-play brethren. Even though I am a dolphin, I do not spend that much. So my roster is not as stacked as a lot of these videos you see out there with content creators with who are whales and krakens who are hitting 2 billion per attempt. So this style may be for you, so let's talk about it. Alright, so we're talking about a new style of doing the guild boss. Now this style was created by Muso and has then been adopted by a lot of the high-end guilds. We're talking the Kraken guilds like Kaiser and the ones that like Painblade's involved and stuff like that. But so you'll see this strategy in a lot of those videos. Now, for my free-to-play peoples, to save gold, because the way of doing this is quite expensive on your gold reserves. So that is to be said first. That being said, since we are now getting this right here, which is right here, this is the 100% gold discount when unequipping and equipping artifacts. This is the best time to take advantage of it. And since we're getting this event every week, right, and it lasts for 2 days, right? I believe this is this kicks in for the weekend. So on the weekends, we will be getting this through to basically Sunday night, right, when the servers reset for Monday. So this is the best time to take advantage of that and to attempt these runs, because you are going to want to swap gear around to make these runs a little bit different than your normal runs. Now, one of the things that you can't work around is in this strategy, we are taking Sun Jinwoo out of the damage equation, right? He is no longer going to be a DPS unit. He's now going to be the main support unit for your highest achieving team. That being said, that you can't achieve those high scores as a DPS unit. I want you guys to know that. You can still achieve those high scores as DPS. This is just a different approach to the fight. So, this is not me. This is someone in my guild who has achieved the 733 million. Now, of course, if you have a stacked roster, right? A bunch of A10 guys, right? All your guys are A10s. You are going to be doing like 1 billion per run, right? I mean, that's granted. The higher your roster, the more fleshed out your roster is, the higher you are going to score. Now, this also shows that Gogun He excels as a DPS as well. And if you're going to be using him for this fight as a DPS, I would suggest you putting on, I would say, on the accessory side, 4-piece Curse, and on the armor side, 4-piece Warmonger, so he gets the advantage of both the defense and the attack. So he wants that stacking defense so that his damage can just keep going and going and going. That being said, let's go back to the fight itself. So what I'm going to do here, and the gold that you're going to be putting out is 57.6 thousand gold. And that is to respec from level 85 out of strength and down into intelligence. That's right. We're going to take everything out of strength and respec into intelligence. And that is going to bring all of our cooldowns down, right? We'll be able to access our skills a lot faster and be able to hit them a lot harder. Now, overall, because it's 57,000, so you are looking at roughly in the neighborhood of 120,000 gold to respec down and respec back up into strength. But if you want to stay in intelligence, for me, it was a difference of, I think, 5,000 to 6,000 CP. Because he's going to get more bang with the attack other than cooldown reduction, intelligence, additional MP. You get more stat points, more combat power out of attack. So that's why we're all putting it into attack. As for the blessings, right? We're changing our blessings up from what I did in the first video. Now again, you can do this as a DPS, and you're going to excel as well. But I think I like this playstyle just a little bit better. So we're using Reawakened to lower our skill cooldowns. Of course, I've only have the rare version, so unfortunately it's 8% for me. I'm also using Swiftness because you are going to be dashing around a lot, not only to cancel some of the animations of your skills, but also to Shadow Step as much as you can. The whole point of this is slowing down the boss so that more damage can be done. Alright, slot 3, I'm using Bloodlust, which you want this because every time that you attack, you're lowering its defenses down, and as you're being attacked, it's increasing your attack power. But we don't have to worry about attack power because it's a non-factor in this style. Now, for that last spot, you can use a multitude of different things, right? Currently, right now, I am using Pulverize to help my break team break him when he goes into that phase. Only because of my lineup that I'm using currently, and I'll show you guys the lineup because I did testing with my roster and different modes of this, and I'm going to show you the results of those. Now, Pulverize is good. You could also use Boss Slayer, but that's going to increase the cooldown on your dash, and we really don't want that. Yes, if you're acting as a DPS, you want to use Boss Slayer. It'll help you out. The one I really want, which I do not have currently, let me bring it up in the codex, is this one right here. This is the one that we want, right? Of course, this is a legendary version of it, but we are one. And what this is going to do is, if there are 2 support hunters with the same element on the team, it increases Sung Jin Woo and the support hunter's attack, defense, and HP by 5%. If there are 3 support units, so basically what this means is, as long as you have 3 of the same element right there on the same team, you're going to get additional defense and HP and attack bonuses for that. So you're strengthening that entire team. And that's why that one is so important for this one. Now I unfortunately don't have that, which is why I'm using Pulverize. So let's go into the fight itself here, and I'll show you my setup. Oh, also, currently, what you also want to do, the server just changed over, so what you want to do is, let me just get back out of this. You want to make sure you're rocking your buffs, right? And you don't have to. You can rock multiple at the same time. Not so much Grim Reaping, not so much putting in the time, but Trinity Force. You're gonna want to use that for this fight because every little boost in power that we can get, that we can pull out of that, that's what we want to use. All right, let's go into the fight itself. There we go. Okay. So, the current setup that I'm now using, right, is I'm using Alicia, I'm using Mei Lin. I took out Seo to put in Cha for more DPS. On my Team B, I'm using my regular win team. That's Wu, that is Han, and that is Mireille. Solid team, no problems there. For my Team C, we have now changed. Now, you can do multiple versions of this. If you have Gogun Hee, right, he's gonna do you pretty good. I'm not gonna show you the results of what I made out, but this is the team that I'm doing the best with. If you have Choi, fantastic, because his weapon is going to help you lower the defenses of their overall fight, so you guys do more DPS. The SR, yes, these raids are bringing SR units back. So if you don't have some of these characters, that's okay. Anna is going to do you extremely well because of her move here. Let's pull it up. Where's that skill? Right here. No. Right here. Yes, the poison zone. This is going to basically lower... Let's go to the information here. Alright. Okay, so the corrosive poison, right? It's basically deals 100 break damage every 3 seconds. It deals equal to 30% of attack every 3 seconds. Okay. The poisonous zone. Immobilized target, we don't need to worry about that. Here it is, right here. On A3, it's also that the enhanced corrosive zone is going to decrease defenses by 1%, stacking up to 10. So that's an additional 10% that we're doing on the boss. So we're lowering the defenses by 10%. So that's why we're using her. We're using Libor to boost our DPS as well. Now, I moved this team out, and I did a variation where I moved Cha to this team. I brought out Gogun Hee and Min, and they did well. I moved Anna into Cha's spot over here and put her with the water team. So this is the setup, again, this is the setup I'm using. Now, as far as equipment goes, on Anna, I am using this right here. I am using the Destroyer set, and so that's just helping out the power gauge of that team, and I'm using 4-piece Greed. On Libora, who is also in that team, I'm using 4-piece Curse, and I'm using the Self set, which is going to help with the elemental damage of that group as well. Choi is straight up a 8-piece Curse set. Who else are we using? We are using Han. Now with Han, I moved her from the 8-piece blessing set to a 4-piece blessing set and a 4-piece self set, again, to maximize Marae's damage. We did basically the same thing on Meilin as well. 4-piece blessing, 4-piece self set. On Sun Jin Woo, we are actually wearing a 8-piece blessing set because we are going to be popping off our ultimate many times, and that's just going to help out the team. Because when you, which bonuses are added to ultimates? This one right here, I believe, right? Yeah. It activates when tagging out using the support unit. So now we're increasing all the users of that by 20%. We're activating the blessing, enhanced blessing. That's why we want to use that, to help out the group. I'm not running an optimized setup right now. I'm on Alicia. I am running a 8-piece curse set. On Cha, I am running an 8-piece curse set. On Marae, I am running an 8-piece curse set. Now, I would change this up if I had the pieces. I would do 4-piece curse and the 4-piece expert set. But I don't have the chips, nor do I have the pieces to go with that. On my breakers, 8-piece straight up. The only full breaker here is Wu, so he's wearing an 8-piece greed set. And that's fleshing. That's my whole team, right? So let me bring up the screenshots of what I did to show you what I pulled off here. Hold on a second. Okay, so this was my first run, right? This was my first run, and what I did was I moved Sun Jin Woo into the win group. So my win group was now Team A, and I was able to get a score of 608. On different runs, I moved him back to the water group because now I have Leech. I have 2 DPS there, so it's better to help out the bigger bulk of the DPS. So now we did another run. Move this over here. Did another run, and this is the one that we did with Min, and we moved Cha over. We left Cha with that group, and we left Anna in with group C, which was Min, Go, and Anna. And as you can see, I did pretty good. I did not break what I did before. Now we moved it again. We moved Anna over to the water team, and we moved Cha over to the light team. As you can see, that helped our score out. Now it also helps by keeping your people alive. And yes, it is a challenge to keep them all alive during this fight. Now the last fight I did is equal to the first fight. And this time I just kept him with the water team. And as you can see, with my roster and what I have him equipped with, I'm hitting 608. So it's a rage count of 5. And it's basically doubling the score I had last week when this first came out. Of course, your mileage could go different depending on your roster. Now, on Sun Jin Woo, let's get back out of this. I'm also using the Moon Daggers. I only have an A1 copy of it. Now, I'd rather have a higher copy of this. But if you do not have the Moon Daggers, right? If you're free to play, don't worry about that. There's a couple other options you have. If you have an A1 Grimoire, you're going to want to use an A1 Grimoire. And if you have a higher copy Moon Dagger, use Moon Dagger. But if you do not have that, if you do not have the Moon Dagger, I would suggest doing, if you have a high enough Juicy Grilled Skewer, which they were giving out free, I just have not expanded mine at all. This is another good one because you're producing an AoE damage, and you're also dropping out things that your team can pick up that would help them out, such as attack boost, healing, everything else. This is a really good weapon to use that. Now, if you don't have this, and you are free to play, if you have this weapon right here, the Night Killer, this works extremely well as well, because with this, you are, again, right here, you're going to be it's going to last infinite, but you're going to basically, if you have an A5, lower its defense by 10%. So that's another 10% of defense lowering. Now, I'm also using the Ice Falchion. Where is it? It is there. Okay, now I have an A10 version of this, because I kept getting them. Now, this is excellent. Now, what I call this is a poor man's grimoire, right? Because basically what the grimoire is going to do, it's going to lower its defenses by 24%, right? 24%, it's going to lower your target's defense. And that's just using that skill. With the frostbite, you do the same thing, but you have to use the skill twice, right? It breaks it up into two different spots, and you have to hit it with it, because what you're doing is, we're putting on this right here, which is erosion, and it's going to lower the elemental weakness by 12%, and that's going to help out everybody, right? But we can double stack this as soon as we hit A5, right? Erosion stacks up to 2 times. So as long as we keep that buff up, we're going to have that additional 24% lower defense for elemental on him as well. And that's pretty much it. Your goal in this fight as a support is basically popping off your skills as fast as you can, shadow stepping just about everything, and trying to make sure that your other units do not die. They are squishy. Like right now, my Wee Boar is very squishy. I have an AO Choi. He's very squishy. They are mostly dying a lot during the fight. So that 608 is the highest that I've hit so far. I'm going to keep attempting this, right, to get a bigger score. But that's pretty much what I've been left with. And right now, it's not bad, right? That's at least going to give me a combined score of 1.2 billion, right? So, depending on your roster, don't worry that you don't have the most stacked roster. This style may work better for you, or maybe you want to go DPS. But either way, SR units are back in the game. Because if you don't have if you don't have Mei Lin, you can use Jo Hee, right? And she has an excellent MP, so that Alicia is not running out during the fight. So you can throw her in with the water group as well. So this is the new guide. This is the new way of doing things. If you don't want to go DPS route, and if you're getting frustrated with that route, you can try this. And again, try it during the weekend when we have that event going. So it's going to save you guys gold. Every time you're swapping things around, because I've swapped my armor off of a lot of these characters just so they can make this fight better. And I got to swap it back on, right? So I can do my encores, so I can do my instances, so I can do my Workshop of Brilliant Lights, all that, my Battlefield of Times, everything, right? I'm only doing this 2 times a week. So it just makes sense to do it during the event where I don't have to pay gold. So all this event is costing me is to respec twice. So unfortunately, it's still 120,000 gold, but it's a lot better than, say, 400,000 gold by swapping all my armors around, all my artifacts around across multiple different people. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope this puts it kind of like in perspective. Just a different style of doing it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you are enjoying my content, please go over to the NetEase Partner Plus program. My name is Daemonxel. You can support me there. You can also support me by just tagging that subscribe button, ringing the bell, sharing, liking the video, all that good stuff. And until I talk to you guys again, you have a great week. Have a great weekend. Adventure safe. And here on this channel, we are always one vision, one purpose, one front. See you in the next video.